Welcome in, everyone, to another live post-game show with 410 Sports Talk. I'm Glenn Martin. I'm going to be riding solo for this one. Jimmy is traveling at the time, but didn't want to miss out on the first opportunity to get on here for a post-game recap and instant reaction live with all of you guys. Ravens get no surprise, right? The Ravens win a preseason matchup. They're beating the Colts 24-16 at home, opening the season in Ravens fashion with a dub in a preseason game. That's okay. Shout out King Blaze. Yeah, Higgins. Wow, what a game for the young fella. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into all the stuff we learned from today's game in a game that we knew heading into it we weren't going to see a lot of big time contributors, but we also knew that we would see some important role players, some important depth pieces, and some jobs still, I think, undetermined. Let's see here. What's going on, Gabe? What's going on, Malik? Yeah, get well, Kone. That was ugly, what we saw for him. So, yeah, get well soon. But excited to see the Ravens get back where they belong in the win column in the preseason, of course, 24-16. But boy, do we have a lot to talk about. Oh my goodness. We're going to jump right in. Lisa Ann, what's going on? Oh my good. What's going on, Edwin? Appreciate you coming out. Yeah, we might as well. I mean, we got to go right to the star of the show, right? We got to talk LaJohntay Wester. I mean, this kid burst onto the scene today, and it shouldn't come as a huge surprise. I mean, this is one of the few very late round draft picks that you'll ever see getting solo segments on NFL Network. But that's the power of playing with Shedeur Sanders and playing under Deion Sanders at Colorado. When you make plays, they're going to mention your name, even if you are a late round draft pick. And wow, all you can say is wow with LaJohntay Wester today. We'll start by looking at his receiving totals. 2 catches, 41 yards. Had that ridiculous catch down the right-hand sideline while Kyle Van Noy is being interviewed by Evan Washburn. It makes a fantastic adjustment on a poorly thrown ball, and we're going to get into those poorly thrown balls all freaking night by the Ravens quarterback team crew. But LaJohntay Wester, a fantastic adjustment on that ball, making the catch on the sideline, keeping the feet in bounds, despite look like some contact there. But that's not really what made everyone notice his name. Of course, it was his punt return ability. This guy the vision, the break tackle, the balance, the acceleration through the small opening that he saw, and then the ability to finish the play, not get caught from behind, take away the angle, have an 87-yard punt return. That alone all but sealed his roster spot. This guy is definitely making this football team. And not only that, he will certainly be active week 1 as the starting punt returner. And look, I know it's a different type of job. I want to see him as kick returner too. And look, we'll get into Katon Mitchell. And Katon Mitchell looked good. Excited about Katon Mitchell. But man, the vision, the like I said, the ability, he stiff arms the guy in the hole to really make the play happen. Man, LaJohntay Wester, wow. And look, at the same time, I felt bad for a guy, that's friend of the show and I think a really good player, Dayton Wade, but I do think there's a bit of competition between those two. And Dayton had some unfortunate, just kind of unfortunate scenarios tonight with the offensive interference that looked certainly like defensive pass interference that turns into an interception. It seemed like every time the ball was kind of thrown his direction, something bad happened. Had the later interception when it was just a poor late throw over the middle to our guy, and it gets picked off. Really no fault of his own, but anytime the ball is thrown and you're the target and it gets intercepted, it's not something you want to have happen, whether it's your fault or not. So kind of feel bad for a guy like Dayton Wade who had kind of things not go his way. But boy, did LaJohntay Wester take advantage of the moment he had. And man, this guy, it's fun. It's exciting to have a player back where when the ball's in the air as a punt, when you're receiving a punt, you're thinking, what could happen? What could he take it back? And I think we might have found that with LaJohntay Wester. So shout out to him and the Ravens front office for bringing this guy in, late in camp. Late in the draft. Still not, not missing on those late round picks. There was a lot of flashing by the Ravens draft class this game. So let's see here. I'm going to get back to the chat. Yeah, Travis, trying to hold it down. Trying to hold it down. Absolutely. Edwin, appreciate you. Oh, here we go. Ravens Nation. Let's see what we got here. Coming back from the game. I'm done with Lele, man. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, look, we went from one positive. We'll go to a negative, and we'll talk a little bit. Man, that was a rough rep for Lele, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about. We've all seen it. I'm going to try and find it, as a matter of fact, if I can, because Lele, if you guys hadn't seen it, Lele gets absolutely ran over on a play here. Actually, I did just find it. Let me put this up here. I mean, it's not a good look. And it's especially not a good look when you consider that Daniel Faalele no longer has the excuse of inexperience, right? Like, this is a guy who has plenty of starting experience now under his belt to not have something like this ever happen. I mean, how big is Daniel Faalele? Look at him, number 77. It may be small here on your screen. Let me see. Here we go. Let me help you guys out. I mean, come on. You're 6'8". You're pushing 400 pounds. Come on, man. Come on, man. That can't happen, right? Like, that can't happen. So, Ravens O's Nation, I hate to say it, but we're in a familiar place, right? If we went into a time machine 1 year ago, we would find ourselves arguing for the same thing, which is Voorhees at left guard and Ben Cleveland at right guard. I mean, that's what we're going to end up saying again, over and over and over again, like we did all season, all training camp, leading up to the season. We were begging for the combination of Voorhees at left guard and Ben Cleveland at right guard, and then the rest, fill in the blanks for the rest. But yeah, I mean, he was bad. He was bad. And you don't want to judge a guy off one play, but it was bad. And matter of fact, let me just put this back up as we were talking about it. I didn't have it queued up, but I mean, we might as well, right? We might as well relive this again. Holy smokes. Oh, this was the first punt return. Okay, even better. So this was LaJohntay's first punt return. It's not going to make the Sports Center highlight, but I mean, we saw it on this one. I mean, it looked like nothing was going to happen, but they just couldn't take the guy to the ground. And then he somehow turns this into a big gain, a nice punt return. I guess we should have known then, right? That what was coming. And certainly he showed us a little bit later with the 87-yarder. But back to the offensive line. Yeah, I think that, well, it's a little bit worrisome that they appear to be relatively thin, right? Like, we saw Noteboom, we saw him at left tackle, we saw him at right tackle, we saw him bouncing around, which is what he's projected to do and kind of be the replacement for Pat McCary. But beyond what we have as our starting, I mean, really, it's hard to even go, you feel great about everyone as a starter. Like you feel pretty good about, I mean, you feel great about three of them. And you feel pretty good maybe about one of the others, but so it's still kind of the same conversation we had last season. And ultimately, the combination of our, the skill players we have around them, the obvious advantage of having Lamar Jackson as your quarterback and what that does to help your offensive line and just kind of elevate anyone who's in front of them. It got better throughout the season, and I guess we'll kind of hope for that, but man, that was a bad rep for Faalele. We'll see what happens from here and kind of see how that job shakes out, but it just doesn't feel like John's ever going to give it to Cleveland. And so we might be stuck with Faalele, unfortunately, for those who are not the biggest Faalele fans. And it could hurt to hear. Let me see here. Yeah, it was bad, Edwin. It was bad. Yes, I know, Black. It's not just one play. You're right. It is a compilation. It is. You're right. Yeah, Faalele's bad. He was bad. He was bad. But well, let's get back into some other things here. We got to talk. Before I go back to any of the bad stuff I see, we got to talk about the good, and that is Mike Green. I mean, holy smokes. Can Mike Green bend the edge? I mean, I saw Baldy going absolutely nuts on that. I'm trying to find the clip here, but I mean, you guys all saw the play. That I believe they credited him with a half sack. Is that what was the final? Because he kind of tripped him up, and then the combination of him and Adisa Isaac ultimately, I think, was responsible for taking him down. Let's see here. Mike Green. They didn't even give him a really. Oh, I thought he gets a half there. He heel hooked the guy, but Mike Green made a fantastic edge rush. He bends the edge. He absolutely takes the corner from the left tackle. And not to be outdone, Adisa Isaac looked pretty good out there himself. But there's just no doubt Mike Green has the quick first step. He has the moves. He has the ability to convert speed to power. And he has the bend to get under those big offensive tackles and use his quickness. Yeah. Get that hand up off of him and get to the quarterback. And that's a guy that's something that we thought, I think, we'd have from Adafe, but despite his like 4.4 speed or whatever it was coming out, it was damn near Micah Parsons level. He's never been the quickest off ball. Like that, if anything, that's probably been the toughest part of his game. And that seems like what Mike Green has in spades. And I think we saw that with the fact that he, led all of FBS last year with 17 sacks. You don't have that in college unless you got a quick first step, in my opinion. I mean, I think you kind of got to have that to lead FBS in sacks. So, yeah, Mike Green looks like he might be an awesome addition to let's not forget, an already pretty damn good and successful group. I mean, I know we criticize these guys in a lot of ways because we don't have that TJ Watt or that Myles Garrett or that Trey Hendrickson that we see around the AFC North. But let's not forget about what Kyle Van Noy did last year and the player he is and kind of the growth we've seen from Adafe. And now you add Mike Green to that group. Whew, that's scary. Then you got Nnamdi, pushing the pocket from the middle with Travis Jones next to him. I think that's a pretty scary pass rush group. And of course, you pair that with the secondary that we're bringing to the table. Do want to give kind of touch again on, man, tough for Kone, the cornerback, the rookie cornerback, 6th-round pick, comes out there on a good rep. Bilal Kone has his I saw it live when it happened, and I know they're not in the habit of showing replays nowadays when there's devastating injuries. I didn't need the replay. Saw it live, and I saw it right away that leg was sideways, and that's tough, man. That's tough to see. Now, I think what it'll do in a lot of ways, it'll make some decision making a little bit easier for the Ravens coaches, but that's about the only good thing that's going to come out of this. Sad for the guy, but hopefully he'll come back stronger next year and have a career nonetheless, and despite this injury. But yeah, just wanted to quickly kind of mention that and touch on the injury. That was tough. But all right, let's get back into some more positive news. And I mean, this is what we've been hearing and seeing out of camp. But man, was it nice to see with our own two eyes. Let's see here. And that is none other than Katon freaking Mitchell going absolutely nuclear out here. This guy, 9 carries, 68 yards, gets the touchdown on a 23-yarder, 7.6 yards per carry. It's absolutely like what's so cool about this guy is that I mean, look, the best way to predict the future is by looking at the past, right? That's the best predictor. And what we've seen from Katon Mitchell in a pretty small sample size because of the injury is that this is not a guy who needs a ton of workload to be impactful. This isn't that type of carrier where you got to get the engines warmed up and you got to get them bludgeoning. You know, he's not the Gus Edwards type where you got to keep giving him and he'll wear you down. No, this is lightning in a bottle. And he is the perfect person to pair with an already, I mean, the running back group we have now is absolute. It's like picture perfect what you want when you're building a football team. You have your workhorse, your all-world Derrick Henry, who can take the ball 350 times a year, get you 5 to 6 yards a carry, and just beat defenders up with his physical run style. And then to complement that, you have the pass blocking extraordinaire, pass catching, elusive, quick. You know, go back and look at all the top plays for the Baltimore Ravens in 2024. You're going to see a lot of this guy, and that's Justice Hill. About as perfect and ideal of a third down back and complimentary back as you could ask for. And then we got Katon frickin' Mitchell, who you can give the ball about 5 to 6 times the game, and any of one of those could be an 80-yard touchdown. I mean, what we saw from this guy is he's got it back, right? Like we saw the balance, we saw the quick-footedness. I mean, we saw a guy who did not look like he was coming off any injuries any longer, right? Like we saw Katon Mitchell back, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to show you some of what we saw from him. The jump cut, even on the short run that I might not have a highlight here for, but you'll remember the jump cut that he hit on that guy at the line of scrimmage to turn nothing into something. I mean, you don't do that when you don't trust your knee. That just shows me that the trust and confidence is back. And look, I don't think anyone really, I mean, look at that. I don't think many knew the severity of his injury until we kind of heard it from him. But yeah, Katon Mitchell, welcome back to the Baltimore Ravens. Welcome back to this. I mean, could you even in a lab create a more perfect running back room than what we have in Baltimore? I don't think so. It'd be tough. It'd be tough. I mean, they just it's the perfect complementary. I mean, of course, you could go, well, give me Derrick Henry with Saquon as his third down. And, you know, you could do that. But I'm talking in a realistic world. You can't get much better than what we have in the way that they all complement each other. You really can't. So, yeah, I mean, shout out to Katon Mitchell for working his ass off to get himself back to where he is. And now I, like most people, do not want to see Katon Mitchell the rest of the preseason. Like Dearness Johnson, get ready to be a workhorse. I am good on Katon Mitchell and his preseason carries. Rasheen Ali, I liked what I saw out of you today in certain situations. Of course, I like the kick return. I thought I saw some patience in the hole. I want to see a lot more of you. A lot more. Got to. Now, of course, we got to bounce back to some negative, right? And then I'm going to go back to some positive. But we've got to talk about this next negative because holy smokes, ladies and gentlemen, the quarterback position behind Lamar Jackson, it ain't pretty. It is not pretty. Like, I thought Cooper Rush coming here, I'm like, here's a guy who's played a lot lately. Played a lot, right? Because he's playing in Dallas, and Dak Prescott's been hurt a lot. So at the very least, what you want from your backup quarterback, right, is a guy who at least has some experience so he's not shell-shocked when he's thrust into a game in a second quarter when your quarterback goes down. Knock on wood that never happens. But as I knock on my desk, my dog thinks someone's at the door and barks. Oops. But no, what I saw from Cooper Rush really at camp in the 2 occasions I was able to attend and what I saw in this game, not encouraging at all. Like didn't love it. I mean, this is a guy who's got a lot of playing experience. Like didn't look like it. And then Devin Leary, I don't see it. I don't see an NFL quarterback. I hate to say it, but I just don't. I don't see. That was just a very disappointing Devin Leary. Like, this would have been bad as a rookie to have this performance. I mean, every ball, like DK texted me while we're watching the game, and he's like, there's nothing on time. Every ball is like, go get it, receiver. Help me out. Bail me out. Like, what? It was bad. It was really bad from both the Ravens passers, but particularly Devin Leary. 3 for 12, 43 yards, 3.6 yard average. Ouch. A 7 rating. That's bad. That's bad. And so I didn't expect to see either of these guys look like freaking Joe Montana. But I hope to at least see a guy in a mix of both of them that could maybe scratch a game out if they needed to. At least finish a game that we might have a lead and hold it. But, I did say we have good running backs, and we're going to need them. Holy smokes, we're going to need them. I mean, jeez. They were terrible. They were terrible. Really bad. Really, really bad. And, of course, coaching staff takes some blame. Todd Monken got to own some of that. T. Martin, all the credit he got from Todd Monken for the growth of Lamar Jackson. Well, T, you got to take a little bit of this because your other guys who are also in that room, who are also quarterbacks under your coaching, were terrible. So, I mean, just look at look at what we have here, guys. As a group, 5 for 16 for 49 yards. Look at their average and look at the running game average. Does that look right? I mean, that is god awful. Let's see here. Antonio, my bad, Antonio. I hope this wasn't up here long. Oh, perfect. Look at that. I meant to put that up while I was talking about the backup quarterbacks. That wasn't just purely coincidental. Antonio Smith says, thoughts on backup QBs? Leary struggled out there. Yeah. That was, man, Antonio, shout out to you with the perfect timing on the comment. Yeah, they were terrible. They were both terrible, but Leary was really, really bad, but mainly just because he was out there longer, so we got to see more of him. But, yeah, I did too. I expected fundamental. Yeah, I expected much better from Rush. Like, all camp. I mean, even at I went to the padded practice with the Colts, and he was horrible. Absolutely horrible. He was horrible. All practice, horrible. And from what I saw, terrible. And I sat front row for the entire performance of the offense. Trash. By the way, quick shout out at that stadium. If anybody's ever been there, kids go down early, line up along the fence. Players come over after practice. They sign while the parents are in the stands behind them. Roquan Smith signed. He got there first. We got everything we wanted. Walked around, used the restroom, refilled our waters, walked slowly all the way around to the field. As we were exiting the gate at the very last point, I looked over. Roquan was still standing there with like 5 kids left in front of him. Start to finish. Shout out to Roquan. Never stop signing. But anyway, back to this. Yeah, Antonio, horrible. And I hope to goodness that we never have to rely on either one of them to win anything. Because I have zero confidence it's going to happen. Like, bad, man. And it could have just been one really shitty game, I guess. That's what we'll say. But, that was bad. It was really, really bad. But all right, let's go back to, let's go back to the box score here and let's talk about some more good, because I do think we saw, and it's right here at the top, Beau Braid. We've been talking about the importance of finding a potential third safety after the sad injury to Darius Washington, right? And we thought, well, we got two young guys in-house drafted last year in Sanusi Kane and Beau Braid, who both made plays in preseason last year. Didn't really have a ton of opportunity outside of special teams to contribute last year. But, hey, sophomore season, injury opens up an opportunity. Rather that opportunity go to a guy in-house who's been training here for 1 year, who's been who's been, signed by the team, one in which he was drafted. Obviously, to be drafted here says something about not just you as a player, but I think you as your character. So I like to promote from within. Let's next man up rather than going to the outside and potentially sign a third safety who's maybe a veteran from another organization who, the unknown is bigger there. So we're hoping, hey, one of the young guys. And Bo Braid, all camp has been just lighting people up. We just got done raving about Katon Mitchell. Bo Braid's been putting Katon Mitchell into the ground, like been popping this dude. And then today leads the team in tackles, 7 total, 6 of which were solo. He has a pass breakup. The guy was everywhere, like absolutely everywhere. I think he is more than earned the trust of this defense or the coaching staff to give this guy some reps on defense. Let's see what we got. Here's what we know because going into this season, we thought in passing situations, are we going to see a lot of 2 linebacker like we saw 2 years ago with Pat Queen and Roquan Smith running side by side in the league's #1 defense? Is that what we're going to see? Are they going to find a running mate to run next to Roquan, and that's what we'll see in passing downs, just 2 linebackers that never leave the field? Or are we going to see 3 safeties? Are we going to see, a 5th corner? Like what defense are we going to see in those passing situations? And the only thing we learned from this game is that it isn't going to be a linebacker that's on this team, at least not yet. Like, I don't think either, like, did anybody else see a huge amount of, like, did you see, I saw glimpses of Teddy. I saw glimpses of Trenton Simpson, but nobody like Bo Braid and what we saw from Bo Braid running around out there, not even close. Let me just find the stats right here in front of me here. Trenton Simpson, two total tackles, 1 solo. Where's, did I miss Teddy Buchanan? 1. Sanusi, 1. So all we learn is that the one guy, when the lights were brightest, and if you guys don't remember what Bo Braid did last year, I do. This guy had an interception. This guy was hitting people left and right, pass breakups. And what does he do again in his first chance to show the coaches? He goes off. So I think this guy's shown, and he's going to continue to show, he needs some more playing time and on defense, not just special teams. But not to be outdone, and of course, the star of the show was probably Jay Higgins. Jay Higgins, first of all, was a terrible throw that he intercepted. I don't know what the hell that guy was throwing the ball to, but hey, Jay drops in coverage, makes the catch. Got to give him credit. Play before that, he kind of, look, Jay got fortunate, but football is luck. It plays a role. He got fortunate that a terrible throw was thrown right to him. Took advantage of it. How many times do we see guys get a ball thrown right to them? They can't take advantage of it. So credit to him. He caught it. Play right before it. A running back trying a spin move, spins right face to face into a sprinting Jay Higgins. So it made the hit impact look a lot more impactful than what it was. If anybody's played football or done it, you've probably been in that scenario or seen that scenario where a guy will lose his footing and it'll look like he gets destroyed. And that's kind of what it looked like. But hey, he made it. And then bats down the ball to really end the game and kill the final drive of the Colts. And so we see basically 3 plays in a span of 5 or 4 where he makes them all. So shout out to Jay Higgins. Love to see it. It was really cool to see that guy out there, making plays, a young guy. And it was so cool to see the rest of the team react to it. Everybody was super hyped for this kid. Not just the coaches, but all the players are coming over and showing him love. So yeah, credit to that guy. And it was awesome to see. Let me see who else we got here. There was somebody else I wanted to mention TJ Tampa, I thought looked pretty good out there. Had 2 pass breakups. He was playing with a lot of passion. Jalen Armour Davis, I thought, was everywhere with 2 pass breakups again. I thought he could have had an interception if he got his head around a little quicker on one of those plays. On a catch he gave up, I'd like him to be more aggressive. Like, it's almost like he didn't want to get in the guy's way, which is weird to say in football when you're on defense. But I thought he had an opportunity to make more plays, but his coverage was super sticky. I hope he can stay healthy, especially after the injury to Kone. But yeah, JD was locking up. Yeah, he was. And look, he's always looked good as far as like the height, weight, speed. I mean, the guy can do it. It's just he's always banged up. And then, of course, he did have a really rough start to his career. If anybody remembers his first couple games in the preseason, he looked kind of lost out there. Or in the regular season, I believe it was, actually. Sorry, I'm starting to lose my voice here. But yeah, I mean, who was that in the, Tom's point? Yeah, cornerback depth is, and thank goodness it is after the injury. Cornerback depth looks like it's there. I mean, secondary looks like it's going to be a really good group. And hey, man, I'm excited, man, about this defense. This defense looks really, really tough. And then, of course, I cannot go this show without talking about Tyler Loop, the team's newest kicker. And I'll be honest, folks, just like y'all, I was nervous when he missed that first one. Was it a 46-yarder? I believe it was. Pulls it way left. Like, Sandusky's trying to be nice. Yeah, just a little left. Man, it was left. That was left. Like, not good. And I know John was thinking, first time in a game in front of all the fans, and he pulls it left. Like, come on. But to his credit, what a bounce back. He gets an opportunity, and credit to John. Although I don't understand the punt. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but we come out, we try and we try and fake the snap to get him to jump off sides, and then we end up punting with a 4th and 1. It would have been a 4th and 1, or a 63-yard field goal. We end up punting. But anyway, Tyler Loop comes back out, 52-yard field goal, and absolutely drills it right between the uprights, splits the uprights, and hits the net. I mean, a good ways up on that net. And like the broadcast mentioned, that ball was good from at least 10 more yards, at least 62 yards, at the least. And it was right down the pipe. So hopefully that's a sign of, hey, he's learning a new stadium. And JT talked about it for all the years he was here. One of the hardest places to kick in the NFL is right here in Baltimore. Talked about how the winds can be tricky, unpredictable. So he's getting used to a new stadium. What I like to see is that he bounced back mentally, because so much of the kicking game, while of course you got to have a good leg, but so much of it, as we all know, it's mental. And if he would have went out there and pushed that thing way right or hooked it left like he did the first one, and been 0 for 2 in his start as a kicker at M&T Bank Stadium, that's not good for his confidence, right? That's not good for the confidence for the coaches and really the rest of the players. They don't want to go out there and see, shit, we don't have a kicker anymore. Because for the last decade plus, you could go to the bathroom when the kick was being done, and you knew when you came back the points were going to be on the scoreboard. You could go get a drink. You knew it. But now, I do think that fans are going to maybe pause that bathroom break to see that ball go through the uprights or not. But to bounce back and kick a 52-yarder, I know that did a lot for his confidence and certainly the confidence of the rest of the team. So shout out to him. Goes 3 for 3 on his extra points as well. Yeah, and then he gets the tackle. I mean, how can we forget the tackle, right? He goes out there and wraps the guy up and drops him to the ground, and had the kicking instructor, Randy Brown, going absolutely crazy, instructed him to push and do not wrap and take the guy to the ground. We cannot afford to lose Tyler Loop, as he is the only kicker now on the roster. He's been given the job. I'm sure they'll keep the other kicker on speed dial and keep him kind of not too far away, but it's his job. It's Tyler Loop's job, no doubt about it. Latanya Brooks says some fans was yelling, "We want Tucker." Oh no, not yet, guys. We cannot crush this kid's confidence. Okay, we can't do it. He's already, I'm sure, like a bit, You know, I mean, it's got to be crazy replacing the GOAT. Like it's insane. So, but I mean, look, you gotta love what you saw from the Ravens and the fact that they got the dub back on the winning side of things, which is where we belong and where we should be. But obviously revealed some things that got to still get answered. I did not think we'd still be in the same situation as it pertains to our offensive line. Like I did not think we'd still be in this thing going, what do we have in Daniel Faalele? Because it looked like at least last year he made improvements throughout the season, but damn, not a good start. So we'll see what happens at the right and left guard positions and continue to monitor that, of course. We got to keep seeing what's going on with the safety position. Did Beau Bray do enough this game, and will he continue to do enough throughout the rest of preseason and training camp to demand a spot on, to demand some defensive snaps and actually become a regular contributor on that side of the football and not just a young guy who gets special teams snaps. So, yeah, let's see what he's got. Katon Mitchell, I don't need to see you anymore. I'd love to see it. Thank you. Welcome back. We don't need to see you anymore. LaJohntay Wester, you're young, so I'm going to need to see more, but keep doing what you're doing because right now you're the sixth receiver. Maybe they keep 7 this year. They might keep 7 because I think Tez has earned a spot. I just wish the quarterbacks on this team could give these guys a freaking look. I mean, it's got to drive you crazy when the ball's going out of bounds and coming up short. It's like, Jesus, I can't. But anyway, still got a lot to see. You got to see a lot from the wide receivers and kind of how that all shakes out. We talked about Beau Bray, and we got to see how that kind of carries. We got to see how the stack's going to be on the cornerbacks and kind of how they use that talented deep group of DBs that they have on this team between the corners and the safeties that they have. They're certainly talented, but man, what a good way to start off the season. I appreciate all of you for coming out and joining me. Maggie, thank you for coming. James, Lisa Ann, as always. Doozy Dope. We don't want Tucker. Yes, now we're good now. We're good. Latanya Brooks, appreciate you. Black Daniels. Let's see. Edwin. Man, I'm gonna James C. Appreciate you. Tom Votto, thank you so much. Everybody, Malik. Thank you guys for coming out. Appreciate everyone for joining me. Coach Nick, I will be back. We will be back in the not too distant future to keep you guys up to date. But thanks for joining me tonight. Have a good one. We'll talk soon. See you.